Hi everyone, welcome to Thomas Brown Coaching. I haven't actually done a video since I finished one video every 30 days. I think I did one after that, and I kind of missed it actually. Since I've been doing that every day, it was something that I kind of got in the habit of, and kind of once that was gone, I took a break from it. I don't know, I felt like I missed it, or it was just removed from my habits. So yeah, I kind of want to get back to doing them again. Maybe not as frequently, but definitely one or two or a few more during the week, just scattered, every week. Today's video is going to be about vulnerability. I actually did something incredible over the weekend, something that I've never tried before. I joined something called the Men's Circle, and it was arranged by a guy called Darius Stewart, a fellow coach that lives or is from the Wicklow area in Ireland. And I found it to be very, very incredible, actually. It was an amazing experience. It was just a group of guys that came together on Zoom and just kind of opened up on how they were feeling. And it was a really nice, really nice way it was done. It was just everyone was given their space, maybe 10 or 15 minutes to just say what's on their mind and to kind of relieve themselves of however they were feeling during the week or however they've been feeling lately, especially with everything that's going on in the world. There's a lot going on, and it caused a lot of stress in people. And I found that it was a very good thing for connecting with other guys, because it's something that isn't that common. Something that I've never done before, and because I suppose like men kind of they meet up and do these things very often with themselves, with friends even, probably not so much, and to open up with a group of just men and no women and to say whatever they're feeling in that time with no judgment is an amazing thing. It was an amazing experience for me anyway, and it's something that there should be more of, quite frankly. I definitely think there should be more of that. A few things that were mentioned in it were like, I suppose, vulnerability being the big one. It was more about, the thing itself was more about, let's say, shadow self, and how the shadow kind of comes in when we least expect it and kind of takes over. But vulnerability for me was the major one that seemed to be, for me anyway, it was a big topic and seemed to be kind of touched on by a few people and not just myself. I think the role of men in society were seen as, to be very masculine and to be very strong and to not really show much weakness. And to be honest, everybody has weakness at some point, and everybody should be allowed to be vulnerable, whether male or female. And this perception that men don't have any weakness or shouldn't have any weakness, or if any weakness is shown or vulnerability is shown in front of people, it shouldn't be perceived as weakness. It should be perceived as strength. Because at the end of it, to show any sort of vulnerability in front of anyone, including strangers, is an extremely strong thing to do. And it takes courage to do these things. It's something that I've even encountered. I found even within myself, to be vulnerable in front of people. Like, I have been vulnerable, but like the perception that I got back or received from that vulnerability at times didn't fill me full of confidence where I want to be vulnerable again, And I think that's something that people should be kind of aware of, If you're being vulnerable around them, that they should be, receptive to that and understanding of that, and rather than, considering what that vulnerability might mean or judging based off of that vulnerability. For anyone to show that, it takes awful strength. And that shows the inside, the real inside of what's going on in someone's life, And so I found the experience to be very profound, to be honest. more than I thought it would be, to be honest. Definitely like something that should be there for men, like something that should be more kind of readily available rather than people shouldn't really be going looking for it. It's something that should be just openly there. I'm sure there's many groups for women that's there. It's one of these things that should be there for both sexes, or even a combination that's there, and for people to kind of sit down, kind of not, let's say, let their ego come in and let people say their piece, and to be aware of, let's say, maybe their judgmental side and stuff like that, and what comes in around that. I think it's really good for everyone. It's definitely something that I've learned. I learned a lot from myself just from doing that one. And to be honest, the energy that I had afterwards, I felt great after it. It was amazing, actually. Because over the weekend for me, actually, I felt a heaviness. I wasn't actually feeling myself. And I said, okay, and to be honest, I think it's just the lack of human contact, to be quite honest. The lack of kind of mixing with people and stuff kind of got to me after a while. And it's just a natural thing, and I think for me, I did it out of curiosity. I've never done anything like that before. I've seen it, and there was an opportunity there just to see what it's like and to experience that. For myself as a coach, I thought it was a good idea, kind of a good learning curve, something that helps me understand people a bit more, and to understand myself and to put myself in that situation, to be vulnerable. I think it's important as a coach to see it from even, let's say, my client's perspective, because sometimes I suppose like they would show vulnerability with me, and for me to understand what that's like, I need to put myself in their shoes a bit and to try something like that. And I think that makes me a better coach, to be quite honest, and to give me a better understanding of people and situations and what people go through, and how important it is to give people their space to talk and to open up and be free with it. And actually what that brings, for me, it brought a lot of positivity. I felt very energetic after it, actually. I felt like a weight was taken off my shoulders. And I was very honest with it, I'm a coach, but it doesn't mean that I'm impenetrable when it comes to feelings and emotions and stuff like that. I go through it too. I know, and I find ways to deal with it, but at the same time, something like that, especially in lockdown or quarantine, is good for everyone. So even I wouldn't rule it out. I recommend to other coaches as well to even try something like that. A very, very open and welcoming experience, to be quite honest. And something I think that even for me, I will be trying weekly even, or every 2 weeks at least, to keep in touch with people as well. And it's a good way, I think, for getting to know new people. For anyone that struggles with, let's say, finding new people or finding new friends, it is, things like that is actually a good way to meet people, to understand what they're going through, but to connect, to be quite honest, to connect on certain things. And yeah, I think it's a very healthy thing, something that probably in the future I'll probably integrate myself and run something like that. One thing that I actually really liked about it was that it wasn't pushed, it wasn't forced. There was no, let's say, no one saying what you should do or tips like that. It was just sit back, listen, someone tell their story, how they're feeling, and people would just, kind of take it in and just listen and understand. And it was a truly lovely and beautiful thing, and I'm glad that I was part of it. Yeah, definitely. Definitely something that should be more kind of in mainstream, and something that should be promoted, to be honest. it's a lovely, lovely thing to experience. So yeah, that's just me on what I experienced at the weekend and the effects of, let's say, being vulnerable, and I suppose how important that is and how much courage that takes, and how rewarding it can be. It can be very rewarding when you're just listened to, and you can be like that. You can be yourself, and you can express that in front of a group of people. Because sometimes we think of certain things about what society thinks of us and judgment and all that. When we speak to, let's say, one person at a time, we might still think that everybody outside of that is against us or be very judgmental of us. And to find that within a group is amazing. And I think it really connects us to what is out there and the types of people that are actually within society that are willing to do that. So that's me for this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like it. My website is thomasbrowncoaching.com. It's currently under construction, but it should be back up in a few weeks. And yeah, if you want to leave a comment about something that you'd like me to talk about next or anything else really, please feel free. Until the next time, I hope you have a very pleasant day and a very pleasant week. Take care. Bye-bye.